firsthand when her 5-year-old friend was run over and by a bus.
Alright, this gotta be fake, bro. Okay. Alright, this gotta be fake. Yo, stop playing with me right now. Why is she living life on the hardest mode of the game?
I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration.
YouTube, what it do, man? It is your boy Abdul up next, and I am back with another video. We got another serious video, bro. One, I want everybody to comment their age. If you're 10 years old, what are you doing with your life right now? Everybody tell me what you was doing when you was 10, because I doubt you had ops. If you had ops at 10, you living life on hard mode anyways. We don't want to know about your perspective. But that's what we actually seeing in this video. There's a 10-year-old serial unaliver, bro, catching bodies. He's watching it in his cartoons when he wake up and he going and doing it. When you 10, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I think you should be watching stuff like Bluey. I ain't never seen Bluey catch a body. I'm confused. Is this documentary about Stewie? Let's just see, man, what this video has for us, bro. Bro got a documentary before puberty.
This little girl you're looking at now was convicted in December of 1968 after
Damn, 1968? Oh, we good. We good.
After she had confessed to multiple.
Why is it so low?
She was just 10 years old at the time of her first.
Like, what could this kid have done to you? I'm telling you, he played with her crayon. Whoa, sounds crazy. I mean, like he took the crayon from her in school. But that ain't worth catching a whole body. What's the most this kid could have did? You said this was 1968, so his dad might own a couple workers still. He might have grew up on a farm, but he still got baby teeth in his mouth, bro. We can't have ops at baby teeth stages.
And is now one of the world's most notorious child in modern history.
Modern? 1968 in modern? What's modern about that?
Welcome. Today we cover the case of Mary Bell, a child who not only
Why is every picture of this evil kid so creepy? Like giving real Chucky vibes right now. Every photo you doing some awkward smile. You genuinely think you Wednesday. You think you Wednesday. I gotta put my mask on for this because you never know. Where my strap?
Mary Bell was born on May 26, 1957 to Betty, a 16-year-old prostitute who reportedly asked doctors to take her daughter away from her.
Excuse me? A 16-year-old? What? How is that even legal? You mean to tell me you get assaulted as your job at 16? Did you even give school a chance? 16? And you a deadbeat? I don't know who her mama was. Her mama was Satan. I wonder why she's so evil.
16-year-old prostitute who reportedly asked doctors to take her daughter away from her. Things only went downhill from there.
Like 16? Who's buying 16-year-old cheeks? That's what y'all spending y'all allowance money on? That's what y'all doing in school?
With Betty often going away on business trips to Glasgow, Scotland. Having her mom disappeared upset young Mary. Despite the mental and physical abuse her mom often inflicted upon her. On one occasion, Betty's own sister watched Betty try to give Mary away to a woman who had been unsuccessfully trying to adopt her. The sister quickly stopped the shady deal and brought the girl back to her mother. Mary was also known to be weirdly accident-prone, once falling from a window and suspiciously overdosing on sleeping pills by accident.
What? Yo, am I in a scary movie? Let me grab my strap, bro. Like, hold up, I gotta hold my joint tight. You tried to put your daughter for sale just on the street? She walked up to a random person on the street saying, anybody want to buy a kid? Anybody want to buy my kid? That's already crazy. Second of all, you fell from a window? So first, you don't got no dad. Second of all, your mama was literally a prostitute. Third, you fell from a window. Fourth, you ODDD. If she was a normal person, I'll be concerned. Everything is wrong with you. Like, pick a struggle.
Some people believe the accidents were down to Betty trying to get rid of her own daughter, while others believe it was a case of Munchausen's by proxy, which meant that Betty enjoyed the attention and sympathy she got from her daughter's misfortunes. Disgustingly, Mary herself says she was subject to repeated sexual acts, with her mother forcing her to engage with men from the age of 5, something her family knew nothing about. They did know how—
Huh? That is disturbing. Everybody gotta go to jail. Her mom was ducking employment bad. You could have just got a job. You out here doing this?
However, that Mary had already witnessed firsthand when her 5-year-old friend was run over and by a bus.
Alright, this gotta be fake, bro. Okay. Alright, this gotta be fake. Yo, stop playing with me right now. Why is she living life on the hardest mode of the game? Yo, this gotta be fake, bro. You telling me a tattle story. Everything went wrong with her life. Come on, bro. It could always be worse. You could be her, bro. She's living on hard mode.
With everything that had happened to her, it's understandable that she was a withdrawn and disturbed child.
Understandable.
She became incredibly manipulative and violent. For weeks before her first murder, Mary Bell had been acting extremely strange. On May 11th, 1968, Mary had been playing with a 3-year-old boy when he was badly injured by falling off an air raid shelter.
What? Bro, y'all done crafted Chucky. This movie more interesting than Chucky. You done got down so bad in your life, you just threw a 3-year-old off of a roof? We witnessing a supervillain.
His parents thought it was just an accident, but Mary and the young boy knew different. The next day, 3 mothers came forward to tell police that Mary had attempted to choke their young daughters. The police interviewed the child, but was soon let off with a stern telling off. Sadly, if these complaints were taken more seriously, the future of this young girl and the lives she would soon destroy could have been very different.
Yo, police weren't good for nothing back then. You could choke 4 people out and just be walking free the next day? What? This sounds like she growing up in Gotham City, bro. She's in a straight up Call of Duty lobby. She in the middle of Nuketown for her entire life right now. This is a whole Los Santos. Bum, bum, bum.
On May 25th, 1968, the body of 4-year-old Martin Brown was discovered in an abandoned building.
I don't understand why she's going at like 4-year-olds though. That's so weird. That's why you gotta get the penalty. Just why 4-year-old?
At first, it was regarded as a sad and unfortunate accident because the initial investigation claimed that there were no obvious marks or injuries found. 2 young boys hunting for scrap wood had entered the abandoned house and were confronted with the small corpse of Martin Brown lying under a window.
What? Bro, that's a canon event they gonna carry for the rest of their life. You walked into a house and seen a DB? I wouldn't even be able to poop the same. I'll be taking a dump watching my back.
Next to the body was an empty bottle of aspirin, which led police to speculate that he had taken too much and had overdosed on the medicine. Even though the boy had dried blood and saliva on his cheek that had run down to his chin.
Alright, what's this goofy photo though? Yo, like what's his face little bro really making at me right now? Cause I'll really fire up on his ass. What's with this goofy photo? Like, let's get something straight, bro. Why he looking at me like that, bro? One more time.
There were no signs of struggle and no marks on his body at all. It seemed like he had just taken some pills, lay down, and never woke up. The 2 boys who had found the body called out to some workmen nearby and soon found themselves surrounded by a crowd of children and adults, all gawping at the sad sight. The workmen said they recognized Martin as the boy they'd shared some cookies with less than an hour before. They just couldn't work out how the boy ended up in the building. 2 of the children watching the scene unfold managed to squeeze through a hole in the derelict structure to get a better view of Martin's body. Mary Bell and Norma Bell, children who, despite their surnames, were unrelated. Unbeknownst to the police, Mary lured the boy into the house and then strangled him to death with her small hand.
At 10 years old, you could be doing a lot of things. You could be like doing your homework, seeing that next Dora episode. You know what I'm saying? What do 10-year-olds look forward to? Beyblades. This is 1968 though. What, you was watching Mickey Mouse? How you got whole methods and techniques already, bro?
She then brought Norma to the house to show off her handiwork.
Like, what could a 4-year-old do to you? What did he do to you to make you want to do that? He beat you in hopscotch? What the hell you was doing? This is 1968 and you 10. Y'all had hopscotch.
Mary then took it upon herself to run and find Martin's aunt, telling the woman she knew where Martin was and that he was covered in blood from an accident. The poor woman unwittingly followed her nephew's murderer to the scene of the crime. In the days that followed, she was tormented by both Mary and Norma, who would torture her by asking questions, such as how sad the family were and if his mother was missing him. Eventually, Martin's aunt stopped opening the door. On one occasion, Mary knocked on the door of Martin's house and asked his mother if she could see Martin. Confused, the mourning woman told the girl that Martin had died, at which Mary replied, "Oh, I know he's dead. I want to see him in his coffin."
What? Bro, this is Chirac. That sounds like something I'd hear on an NBA Youngboy song. I want to see him in his coffin? Yo, you was a drill rapper.
Disturbingly, for a class assignment, Mary drew a picture of a boy lying exactly in the same position that Martin Brown was found in, with a bottle labeled tablet. To make it even more sickening, she called it there has been a boy who had just laid down and died.
So you got an entire note. You writing your ops down in crayons? You just 10, let's remember that. But you got a whole ass death note. They done made an anime about you. I done seen a few.
Although Mary wasn't the only child who knew about how Martin had died, she was the only one to draw the scene. Although this sounds bizarre, her teacher wasn't suspicious, as she knew the children had heard about.
So y'all got people out here catching bodies and nobody saying nothing. Yo, y'all really keeping it gangsta out there. They don't even got snitches. Catching charges before they first pimple out there. You can't even punish a 10-year-old. What the hell you gonna do? Ground him? I ain't heard the kid do anything but catch bodies. What else do you do at 10? Do the kid even sleep?
Mary's attack on other children and her bragging attitude continued. At one point, she pointed to the house where Martin Brown's body was found and told neighborhood children that it had been the place she had killed someone. A story that was followed by a laugh. On May 26, 1968, Mary's 11th birthday, the girl attacked Norma's younger sibling. She was so violent that Norma's father had to physically remove her from the home. This pattern of violence was not anything surprising to anyone who knew Mary, as her temper began to spiral out of control. After Martin Brown's tiny coffin was buried, Mary, wanting to be in the spotlight again, turned on her best friend Norma and viciously attacked her. She scratched at her face and kicked her in the head, finishing the attack by telling the girl she was a killer and that she was willing to kill again.
Alright, let's just make something clear. This is a 10-year-old we're talking about. No 10-year-old finna do nothing to me. With the squeaky voice you getting threatened? What you want me to say yes sir to a squeaker? I'm not doing it. How is y'all letting a 10-year-old walk around here and cause havoc like they the Joker? Matter of fact, they done got farther than the Joker and it done took him a couple movies. If a 10-year-old acting crazy, boy, if you don't tell that kid to sit in the corner, y'all don't got belts over there? It's 1968, they didn't create belts by then? Ain't no way no 10-year-old finna be walking around here doing that. And y'all talking about everybody knew. There ain't no police. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you grow up? Did the story start with once upon a time? Because ain't no 10-year-old cut like that, bro. You not cut like that. You not making me believe you cut like that. You know what I'm saying? Get him in my... shut your little ass up. What are you talking about? Y'all tripping.
Children who saw the attack shrugged the threat off as Mary being overdramatic. Little did they know what the little girl was capable of. In a photo taken at a demonstration, which local residents held in an attempt to urge the government to tear down derelict buildings to stop more from happening, two children can be seen holding up a banner. One of these children was Mary Bell. Yes, the young had inserted herself into the situation to stay involved. Experts believe that do this to satisfy their narcissistic egos and to keep the buzz of going as long as they possibly can. Although no official criminal investigation began at the time of Martin Brown's a doctor viewing the body did comment to officers that it would have been possible for another child to have strangled him to without any signs of violence, since a child's hands are so much smaller and weaker than an adult's. On the same day of the attack on Norma's sister, the two friends decided to break into a nursery so that they could vandalize it.
What? What? This is genuine evilness. Who wakes up and says, let's hit a lick on a nursery? There should be nothing in that nursery that you mad at. This looked like a whole Family Guy episode. Like, I don't even think Stewie cut like this.
The next day, staff discovered the carnage the girls had caused, as well as some chilling notes that the police dismissed as a prank. One said, I her so that I may come back, while another read, we did Martin Brown. Fuck off, you bastards.
You got kids hanging their nuts in your face like this. Now, me personally, I'm not finna let a kid who can't even do 8 times 8 talk to me like this. Their handwriting is literal chicken scratch.
On the 31st of July, 1968, Mary and Norma Bell took part in the again by strangling of a 3-year-old named Brian Howe. Mary Bell also used a pair of scissors to cut off some of Howe's hair, scratch his legs, and severely mutilate his
genitals? You 10, he 3? Oh, nah. Oh, nah. We gotta lock you up. Everything wrong with you. And you have R. Kelly in your body. Everything about your life is bad. You still a minor, and you already not about to be allowed around middle schools.
The 17th of December 1968, Norma Bell was acquitted of all the crimes. Mary Bell, however, was convicted of manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility. Following the jury listening to a diagnosis from psychiatrists who said that the girl showed clear signs of psychopathy.
I mean, it's kind of obvious she was a psychopath. You barely know how to brush your teeth, got half a baby teeth in your mouth, and you quite literally out your mind. Your mama knew it was something about you the day you was born. She didn't want nothing to do with you. That's why she was trying to get rid of you. You sold your child body at the age of 5. She might have as well have just been on the ranch, traveling on the Underground Railroad. She one of them.
Years in various jails, Bell was released at the age of 23. She was also granted total anonymity, so she could escape the media frenzy and protect herself from attack.
There is no way this woman got out of jail, is alive today with a second chance at life. Y'all just let the most villainous person run around free again. We gotta talk to them people behind them courts because y'all be making There's no way you heard that person do all of that before they could even go through puberty and said, we gotta let them be free again. Shout out these 4 people right here. Like this video, comment that you liked it, and you can get the chance at a shout out in the next one. It's randomly selected. I'm gone.